Simon Rosenberg is director of the New Democrat Network and a former Clinton campaign advisor, and Rich Lowry is editor of the National Review and a Fox News contributor. Rich, our brain room put together some statistics that are just, they paint a very bleak picture of our economy right now. We accumulated more debt over the past 1,000 days as we have in basically our first 200 years. 2.22 million jobs lost. The poverty rate's gone from 13.2 to 15.1. 12 million more Americans are living off food stamps. We spent more than 60% than the federal government took in. More than 2.4 million homes have been repossessed, and on it goes, Rich.
Oh, it's absolutely devastating. And ironically enough, Megan, if you want to get kind of an anecdotal picture of the misery this economy has created, go to the Occupy Wall Street Tumblr, We Are the 99%, where people write down their personal stories and hold them up on a piece of paper. They're absolutely devastating in terms of joblessness, job insecurity, healthcare costs soaring, student debt, all the rest of it. So President Obama has failed on his own terms that he set out in that interview. He's failed by the traditional standard we hold presidents to since 1980. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? And he's being judged a failure by the American public. He's at 44% approval, and presidents at 44% do not win re-election.
You know, Simon, rightly or wrongly, whether he's tried, hasn't tried, has he gotten it done?
Well, I don't think the American people think he's a failure, and I don't think he's a failure. I think that what people, Megan, to your point, is that he inherited a very tough situation. The things that they did made things better, where the economy is better today than it was at the beginning of his presidency when we were losing 700,000 jobs a month, which was what was happening when he came in. We've been gaining jobs most of the rest of his presidency. And so I think that the election next year and the evaluation where he is today is that I think there are three basic things he can say today. He's taken apart the terror networks around the world. He's made education, healthcare, and other things better than they were before. And on third is he helped save the economy from what could have been a much worse situation. Clearly, over the next year, the debate is going to be between the two parties. Now, what are we going to do next? What's the plan to move us forward? Who's got a better plan? It's going to be a choice election, and I think what's amazing is despite all of these problems and everything you just listed on the air, right, he's still beating Mitt Romney in head-to-head polls today. So I think I don't think the White House is happy with where they are. Things could be worse. It's going to be a competitive election, no doubt.
I mean, Rich, things could be worse. One wonders how much worse they could be, because I could go on. This is just from our brain room. China now owns $1.17 trillion of our debt. That's a 58% increase from when Barack Obama took office. There have been over 7,000 new final regulatory rules issued. President Obama's job approval rating has dropped nearly 30 points. As I mentioned, 37 states have higher unemployment rates now than they did when he took office. Gas prices are up more than 80%. 7 key members of his economic team have resigned. The president told Matt Lauer, "One nice thing about the situation I find myself in is that I will be held accountable." That's February 2, 2009. I've got 4 years. He says, and a year from now, I think people are going to see we're starting to make some progress. There'll still be some pain. If I don't have this done in 3 years, then there's going to be a one-term proposition. Are we there?
Well, I think he's very close to being there. Simon's right, people have not totally quit on him yet. But if he's at 44% on Election Day and next November, he's going to lose. And the idea that the $800 billion stimulus package was the difference between a Great Depression and where we are now, I think is ridiculous. And even if you thought that kind of package was necessary, the responsible thing to do would be to pass that package and then over the medium and long term do things to control the debt. Instead, he passed the short-term package that made the deficit worse, and then has passed other measures to make the medium and long-term picture look even worse. So he's brought the country on the precipice of a financial disaster without really helping the unemployment rate, which is stubbornly at 9.1%.
Simon, even if the situation is as you say it is, it's tough to run on, we made some improvements.
But I think that's what the campaign's going to be about next year, is that I don't think that the economy is going to be substantially better for the president next year. It's going to be probably middling along the way it is now. And he's going to have to make the case that he's got a better plan to deal with the economy as it is today, not the way it was when he came into office in beginning of 2009, which was the height of the Great Recession when we were losing 700,000 jobs a month and in the midst of an incredible financial crisis. He clearly made things better. Whether the American people believe he made them good enough to be reelected is something they're going to have to decide next year, and we've got a long way to go. I mean, I still think the Republicans can't be happy with the poll numbers that they saw today. They're still trailing Obama in every poll. Romney's trailing Herman Cain today. There's been a big swing against the Republicans in the congressional generic over the last couple months, and I don't think they have a good economic argument about what they want to do. And so I think this is going to be a very competitive election, and I think the president has got a stronger plan.
It's not really fair to compare the president's numbers to Republicans who haven't been nominated yet.
All right, and we'll see that debate play out over the next 12, 13 months. Gentlemen, thank you both so much.
Thanks,
well,
Megan.
He saw a speed trap, so he flashed his brakes.